Hey, Team Numis Canada. That's what I call my members and subscribers. Hello, coin collectors, young and old, and anyone else that might be watching. Today we have episode 7 in season 1 of the Statehood Quarters collection set. And today we will be speaking about the old line state. And in this video, we will show you the coins, the stamps, and a little bit of history around both the coins and stamps. So stay tuned and hope you enjoy the video. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. We'll get right into this, and we're looking at Statehood Quarters Volume 1, and of course we'll switch this over, and we're going through to the 7th episode. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Maryland. And of course we're looking at Maryland, and we have the old line state. Maryland Statehood Quarters, minting limited to 10 weeks, issued March 13th, year 2000, brilliant uncirculated condition. Maryland joined the Union in 1788 and is known as the Old Line State. And here we have the state seal. And of course, I'll give you images of these and the state flag. Here are the quarters. There is the Philadelphia Mint for the reverse, and you see the coin there. And the obverse from the Denver Mint, right there. And of course, the central design of the unique Maryland quarter dollar is the Maryland State House Dome in Annapolis, built in between 1772 and 1790. It's the oldest state house still in use in the United States and stands at the center of the city. It also served as the nation's Capitol building from November 26, 1783 to June 3rd, 1784. It was in that building that George Washington resigned his commission as the Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army on December 23, 1783, and the peace treaty that formally ended the Revolutionary War was signed on January 14, 1784. While in the Annapolis State House, George Washington also gave Maryland his famous nickname of the Old Line State, seen on the coin design. He was praising Maryland's 1st Regiment of the Continental Line Troop, who fought valiantly throughout the American Revolution. The regiment was specially commended for bravery, and the Battle of Long Island in 1776, in which Washington's Continental Army defended New York City. The Maryland quarter dollar design is completed by two white oak leaf clusters representing the Maryland state tree. And at the bottom of this side, we have this photograph of this bridge, and this is Burnside Bridge over Antietam Creek near Sharpsburg, Maryland. It was here that the Union won the Battle of Antietam, prompting President Abraham Lincoln to issue the Emancipation Proclamation. And Maryland entered the Union on April 28, 1788. So let's flip this over. And of course, here we have 3 stamps, and there's the Philadelphia obverse and the Denver reverse. In the early 1500s, Giovanni de Verrazzano explored the Maryland region, but Captain John Smith was the first to map the area in 1608. In 1632, George Calvert, Lord Baltimore, obtained a charter from England's King Charles I to establish a colony, naming it Maryland in honor of the king's wife, Henrietta Maria. The first settlers, led by Leonard Calvert, arrived in 1634. The colony prospered and became a haven for Catholics forced to flee England. The Calverts were also generous with land grants, which attracted many enterprising farmers. Tobacco was an important crop in Maryland, where the prevalence of waterways made it easy to transport crops to the coast for shipment abroad. On April 28, 1788, Maryland became the seventh state to ratify the Constitution. Maryland saw no major military action during the American Revolution, but its troops were renowned for their bravery elsewhere. Although Maryland escaped the British in the Revolution, it became a major battleground in the War of 1812. The Americans' courageous defense of Fort McHenry in Baltimore inspired Francis Scott Key to write the Star-Spangled Banner in 1814. The issue of slavery bitterly divided Maryland, and the Civil War officially, the state remained part of the Union, although it actually supplied troops to both sides. It was the site of the pivotal Battle of Antietam, which stopped General Robert E. Lee's Confederate Army from progressing north. In 1864, Maryland adopted a constitution that outlawed slavery. Like many other states, Maryland saw a shift in its population towards industrial cities in the late 19th century. It led the nation in various social developments, becoming the first state to pass workmen's compensation law and the first state to adapt one man, one vote policy of universal suffrage. In the 1920s, Maryland resisted the nation's prohibition laws, earning the nickname the Free State. In mid-1900s, saw an increase in industry and improved transportation systems, including the opening of Baltimore's airport and creation of an expressway connecting Baltimore and Washington, D.C. education, expanding statewide during the 1960s and 1970s, when several state and two-year colleges were established. In the latter half of the 20th century, Maryland was known for biotechnology and information technology, as well as the manufacture of electronic equipment, food products, chemicals. It was also a national center for space research and planning carried out at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland. Agriculture continued to be important as tobacco plantations gave way to soybeans, corn, and cattle. The state also put forth considerable efforts to clean up the Chesapeake Bay location of its major ports. The capital is Annapolis. The bird is a Baltimore Oriole. The flower is a black-eyed Susan. The tree is white oak. The motto is Fati Mashkiparol Femin, manly deeds, womanly words. And we have 3 stamps here, and the first one is John Hanson. And I'll show you that stamp. And I'll give you a photograph of it. Issued November 5th, 1981, this stamp honors Maryland statesman John Hanson, appointed as the first president of the Continental Congress under the Articles of Confederation in 1781. And of course, the stamp says John Hanson, President, Continental Congress, USA 20 cents. And there we go. And the next stamp below that is Francis Scott Key. And that's a 3-cent US postage stamp. Francis Scott Key. And Francis Scott Key is honored on the stamp issued August 9th, 1948. In his hometown of Frederick, Maryland, during the War of 1812, he penned the Star-Spangled Banner, which was later adopted as the national anthem. And over here, we have Baltimore resident Edgar Allan Poe. And that is a 3-cent stamp. And it has a Pegasus on it below the image of Edgar Allan Poe. Baltimore resident Edgar Allan Poe is honored on this stamp issued October 7th, 1949. Poe is best known for his most often mysterious and morbid short stories. And so that is our quick presentation on Maryland, which is the old line state, and the coins and stamps that go with it. I hope that you've enjoyed this little bit of history on Maryland and its coins and stamps, and you'll tune in to watch the other states that we have already competed and subscribe to catch the new ones that will be coming up in the future. Thank you for watching and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.
And please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and keep on collecting.